What is up? Today, I'm going to be walking you through a full body workout, kind of like a vlog, kind of like me explaining shit throughout the way. So, the main focus for today's full body session is going to be more of a posterior chain work with our glutes and hammies as the emphasis. And then for our upper body, we're going to be doing some unilateral power and strength ish base work. So, I have a torn bicep right now, which is why we're doing the unilateral work. Can you see the difference? That's a tendon right there, and it's up there. And you're going to see me get pretty crafty with some of the ways in which I have to go about training. But for you, you can make any swaps to these exercises as long as they have the same movement pattern and intention behind them. The first thing we're going to get into, this is after dynamic warm up, all that sort of stuff. We're getting into plyometrics. Okay, so we want to do our plyos first because we're fresh and we are actually going to be able to express the most amount of power and give the most effort with a fresh central nervous system. Then we're getting into our loaded power based movements. Okay, so for me, I'm doing a landmine rotational press. You can do push press. You can do any other sort of variation with a loaded upper body power based movement. This could be a banded bench press. You might have to change a few other things around if you do that though. And then I'm going to get into, for the posterior chain, a split stance kettlebell swing to really isolate and work more of one glute in that rapid hip extension. After that, we're getting into our strength slash hypertrophy work. For strength, it's going to be a little bit higher on the strength kind of spectrum. We're going to be touching a little bit higher numbers, not true maximal strength based work, just due to where I'm at right now. But for you, if you wanted to really work max strength, you could do 3 to 5 sets in between 3 to 5 reps, about 85%, 1 RM or more. And then we're going to finish with a little bit of accessory to round out the workout, and then finish with an assault bike interval, kick my own ass. So let's get into the training. All right, the first move we're getting into is a single leg bound or a single leg hop. But what I'm really focusing on is going to try to have as fast ground contact and a quick cycle as possible. So think of this as more of an extensive base plyometric, not maximal effort based work. They're fucking tiring. God damn. Not gonna lie, these are way more tiring than I thought. God damn. All right. So last set. So I'm really trying to get my foot off the ground very quickly and cycle as quick as it can. I'm not really going for height and distance right now. I'm really just trying to train my CNS to move a little faster. All right, now I'm going to get into the seated broad jumps onto the box. This is set up about 8 feet, but you got to know, like, my feet are landing in front, so it's not a true 8 feet. It's a little scary, to be honest. This is all for like concentric power, so like muscle driven power, no tendon based work here. And then the box is to minimize just that high impact and the amount of like hard deceleration that typically happens with a broad jump, but you're still working the power output of it. I'm currently rehabbing some double patella tendonitis, so trying to minimize the amount of kind of force these tendons have to go through right now while I'm rebuilding it. Holy fuck. All right. Got to use the fear. Oh, fuck me. I got to be careful I don't swing my arms too much or else I'm going to fuck my bicep up. Fuck. I got to make a swap. I'm going to do no hands because I don't want to fuck myself up. All right, I can get more. Rocking a solid 4-foot broad jump right now. All right, I'm gonna superset this with the shot put throws because they're different body parts. All right, I'm gonna throw on this beam because I'm too lazy to walk outside. So we're working a little bit of power and precision here. So the couple of mess ups that I see a lot of athletes make with this is they over crank their arm, or they keep it low and they throw like this, or they're coming down on it. You want your elbow and arm perfectly and straight, right? So you can load, come out, get the hips all the way through, and your arm should be straight, right? It should end like this. Now I'm gonna scoot back a little bit, but that's really what we want to see. I gotta throw this shit perfect, bro. Eesh. All right. All right, move to the wall so I don't kill someone. My goal each set is just to slowly increase the distance. All right, plows are done. Now we're moving into power, which is going to be our landmine, rotational press, and kettlebell swing. Let's get it. So this is like a full body power movement and like coordination. I wouldn't even say it's the most power for your arms, right? Because you're here, it's push, push, rotate, transfer through the core, up through the arm, right? So you're getting a little bit here, but most of your power for any upper body power movement is really going to start with your legs. So it's a really great one I use with like our combat sport guys. When I'm doing these, I'm not even thinking really about my arm. All my focus is on how quickly I can snap those hips through. Oh, you little bitch. Okay. All right, split stance. Feet shoulder width apart. Toe not on the heel. Unless you want to snap an Achilles. And then I'm locking in my back, leaning in. So I'm definitely a little bit more of a squat stance. And then I hike through, right? And then I come up, and this is just like a stance, like a state stability. Everything should be happening here. So when I get to the top, my legs should be straight, glutes should be on, not letting that kettlebell take my core for a ride. That's the goal, at least. I don't know. I can't do it that way. Maybe I can do this. These are weird. Might be too heavy for me to go same side. Let me try that shit again. Oh, God. Okay. Fuck. Probably gotta go lighter. All right. How the fuck? Okay. Definitely more like a squat. What the fuck? All right, now we're moving into the strength work. I'm gonna do an RDL on a belt squat. Not confident in this. Normally, I'm doing like belt marches, squats. Never an RDL though. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go so fucking heavy to get this. Woo. Ah, God damn, that feels good. The verdict is that I think it'd be a decent substitute. It's definitely not the same as throwing 315, 405 and banging out some RDLs. It's more of like a consistent, gradual type of struggle, but acceptable. I'd give it 6.8 out of 10. Pretend I did that. All right, now we got adductors, Copenhagen, ISO plank. You can start with the lower box, you can start with the knee, but for me, the goal is to get more length and strength through the length. So I think I might need to go up on this side next. Well, what else is 25 pound bar? So these, you just don't want to lock fully out and like hyperextend. You want to keep a slight bend. Try to keep the hips up as much as possible. Pull the toes up, like as if you're contacting the ground during a sprint. If you want to make these harder, you can add weight right here, but single leg pretty challenging by itself. Anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds. And the last thing, if you have time, is going to be assault bike intervals to really work on your anaerobic repeat power and just overall conditioning. I ran out of time because my phone died and I got to get back to take care of the family. But one that I really like and I think is a good one just to start off with is 10 rounds, 10 seconds on, 50 seconds off, rinse and repeat for, or as many as you can. You're just trying to keep your peak wattage up as high as you possibly can with that for the assault bike sprints. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see next. And if you're interested in learning more about how to train as an athlete to get bigger, faster, stronger, then go ahead and check out the links below in the Peak Performance program, and I'll see you on the inside.